Going on YouTube, fellow Audi owners? Today I'll be attempting to repair my active wing. About a week ago I noticed it stopped raising and it would kind of make like a thumping noise, almost like a stripped gear sound whenever it would try to raise or lower. And that lasted for about 2 days and then it just nothing at all. I mean, you can still hear the motor spinning but it doesn't raise or anything. And so I was able to source this file and I just finished 3D printing it. It's made out of ASA filament. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get this bad boy installed and get my wing fixed. There's no information on doing this online. Everywhere it just says to replace the whole wing. I'm not trying to go find one from a junkyard or buy one from Audi if they're still even in production. So I'm gonna take you for the journey and show you my process and how I was hopefully able to get this done. So stay tuned. I'm gonna start by obviously taking this off. And have to take this off. We'll just have to take off whatever trim, clips, screws we need to. I'll time lapse that and then cut back and let you know exactly what needed to come off. All right, so we're out of there. So what I did was obviously take off that little cover, and once you open this right here, you'll have two Torx bits. They are T25. You take those out, and then I just got a trim tool and basically just started prying from the side. Got this side loose, came over to that side, started prying until eventually the whole thing came out. And then just watch, you have your connector for the trunk close button. So just watch that. So now we're going to start taking some bolts out under here and try to get this whole wing unit out as one. I'll time lapse that as well. And once I'm done, go back and show you what I did. The wing off. It wasn't too bad. I had 4 connectors right here that I had to remove, one being the camera. Just be careful with those. These 2, you squeeze them on the sides. There's like little, and then this one was just like a regular push that little guy down. Had to use a trim tool to push that. And then this one, I lifted this up from this end, from right here, and then it pulled out. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 10mm bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4 T25s. There's like 2 on either sides of where those connections are. There's 1 there, and you'll just have to look like these big holes. Anywhere there's a big hole big enough to get your 10mm in an extension, there's 1 there. T25 there, T25 there. And then once you have all that off, it should just pop off. You probably won't be able to tell in the time lapse, but as soon as I remove that, like that weight being gone, this thing like zoop. And in fact, if I recall looking in the service instructions, like on all data, it says you're supposed to secure this to that to prevent it from, I don't think I broke or damaged anything. I mean, it seems fine, but yeah, this thing definitely goes up with some force without the weight of that on there. So now we're gonna start taking that apart and see what we can figure out. All right, I set up a little workstation here. Looks like we got some more 10mm screws to remove before we can get to the innards of this thing. So I'm gonna get those out, and then actually let me see if I can just set up my phone and take you guys along with the process. What I don't want to do is be like those guys on YouTube where you go to watch their video to figure out how to remove a difficult part, and they're like, all right guys, today we're going to show you how to remove the difficult part. And then it cuts to the next scene and they're like, all right, we got the difficult part out. And it doesn't show how they did it, so I'll try to show you guys what's going on here. Let me grab my 10mm. There's some back here too. And possibly, these look like little plug holes. There may possibly be some under there. We'll find out in a second. Alright, I'm gonna just have to use like some needle nose or something to grab those. Let me see if I have my magnet. This little guy's a lifesaver. So far, that's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 nuts. See if this comes apart, or if we need to take some more. Seems like it wants to come. Feels like might be a little bit of adhesive or something in there. I'm just worried there might be some nuts or bolts that I can't see. I see 2 T25s down here, but they have these little grates. Like I don't know if I'm supposed to remove these. We're gonna find out. Probably can't see in the video, but underneath that, there's 2 T25s. There's the little holes where there was a 10 in, and I'm wondering if there might be one under these. I guess I'll pop these up and check. The ends of it seem kind of free. It's coming up right here, but seems like in the middle area it's still attached somewhere, so let's dig a little deeper into that. And I guess right, there are 10 millimeters under there. Nice. Our handy magnet. Oh, should be free. Yeah, that feels a lot better right there. There we go. There we go, now we're cooking. But looking at my gear, it doesn't look bad. You know, I was expecting to see it like broken, snapped or something. So we'll see. I think we got to start taking this apart to get even further into this assembly. There we go. Let's connect that back to the motor. All right. Now we have the wing. Just the wing. Yeah, I'm super curious how this works, so we're going to start taking this thing apart. These are T25s as well. Yeah, T25. Probably have to take the motor off. That's 10 millimeter for the motor. I think what has to happen, in fact, now that those T25s that I'm seeing under that grate, those are what actually hold the wing to the lifting mechanism. And since mine, I was not able to raise it, I couldn't take those off from underneath. So I'm thinking I'm gonna figure out a creative way to pop these out, because I think these are just drain covers, so when like the wings open and it rains, like leaves and stuff don't wash down in there. So I think I'm gonna pop these out, and it looks like I'll probably have to remove the wing to get this piece to come off. Yeah, so maybe with a flat head and just kind of push the sides in and push it down. Seems like, oh yeah, okay. So there's like 4 little tabs on each side. Let me see if I can show you on this one. Focus, focus. Well, it's kind of hard to see, but there's little tiny tabs. There's one here, there's one here. You just push them in and then push that thing down and it'll pop through. So let's get those cracking real quick. Boom, it's one vent out. Yeah, see, now you can see a little better how it's got these little tabs on the side. That's the second one out. Now I have access to, these look like they might actually be T30s. They look a little bigger than a T25. And for these, just to play it safe, I'm not gonna hit them with the impact. I'm gonna do these by hand because I don't wanna mess anything up here. I know these are gonna be under a little bit more torque than these other little tiny T25s were. So we'll get it going by hand. Yep, T30. Oh, okay, that's not bad at all. They're not that tight. Okay, yeah, I'll probably just finish those off with this. Oh. All right, further down the rabbit hole we go. Don't mix these two bolts that hold the motor down with the rest of these. I know they all have blue nylon, but the motor ones are just slightly smaller than the rest, so try not to mix your nuts up. Hate when I forget where my nuts went. Alright, so now you can pretty much see there's a little foam gasket there. Watch that, don't lose that. You can see pretty much what happens. This motor spins this rod, which spins this, which in turn raises that up. So now we have a general idea of how this works. So you don't lose any screws or hardware. Wonder if I can get these two T25s out, if that'll allow us to get a little further into it. Probably do these by hand as well. I'm trying to strip anything. For this other one, I'm probably going to have to actually get my 1/4 inch ratchet and extension. Alright. This almost doesn't fit under there either. How in the heck? This is too thick. Like this nut is like right up against this little casing. I don't know if you can video right there, that guy. I need like a long T25. Let me go look for one real quick, and I'm gonna cut this clip and start it back when I'm back. All right, I got this. I believe this came with like one of the spare tire kits in one of my Audis over the years. I think this is gonna be too long, but let's try it. Yep, that's too long. Almost get on it. Yeah, too long. We're gonna keep looking. All right, back with another idea. This little bit kit that came with my tool set. So on the T25, this one. See if this works. This might be too long also. Yep, son of a gun. I really need like a hex key, but like an Allen wrench, like one of those L-shaped ones, but Torx. All right, we'll keep looking. All right, back with our next attempt. This little guy. There we go. Now I just need to maybe get some pliers to bite this handle and twist it, because I obviously can't get any leverage on it when it's up against the wall like that. Let me grab some channel locks. There she goes. Now let's see if we can get a little further apart. Yes, okay, this slides off. Slides back, shall I say. And everything looks fine. Like, I don't see a reason why this wouldn't be working. Like, the gear's mesh looks fine. The gear itself looks fine. I mean, there's like no cracks or anything. Like, everything looks pretty good. I guess I'll try to power this and see if I can get any action out of it and see what happens when you hit it out of the car. Man, I was really hoping to see like a gear broken in half. So I guess we'll push on. I have a power probe. I can just hook it to my battery, or I can figure something out, but I guess, yeah, let's get this jumped and see what happens. I'll cut the clip back on once I got that ready to go. All right, so I got my power probe. I just clipped a wire that I'm going to use for the negative. And I'm going to assume that the blue and red is going to be our power for which direction, and then black is going to be ground. So we'll give that a shot and see what happens. Nothing. Okay, so let's try blue and red. These are the two thickest wires, and typically that would be your power and ground. All right, so it looks like everything is spinning, but it seems the gear is stripped on the shaft. If that makes sense. I wonder if it's also because this cover is not pushed forward as it should have been. Because this cover also kind of acts as a limiter for the gear so that it doesn't over-rotate. Let's try this again, cover on. Yeah. That's, I guess if we reverse it, it should go the other way. And it does. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. The gear is stripped out on the shaft. Which makes me wonder. Let me put it all the way in its down position first, as far as in that little limiter cup thing. I can see it. Yeah, the gear's cracked. I guess I just didn't have it in the right position, but looky there. Yep, we got it cracked. Now I need to figure out how to get this apart. I mean, it looks like they freaking crimped the crap out of these joints. And if we could just find a way to uncrimp this and slide this out of there, then we could pull this gear out and replace it with the gear we made. So stay tuned while I figure this out. All right, that's fully retracted. And on our limiter, it looks like it's about 1/8 of an inch off. So I need this gear to spin about 1/8 of an inch on the shaft to be lined up to do what we need it to do. So let's see. Right there. That's it. We're back. So ran to Home Depot, got some JB Weld plastic bonder, which says it's great for plastic to metal, which is exactly what that is. So I'm going to put this on there and give it 30 minutes, an hour to dry. And we'll see where we're at. Alright, so I have to come and update what my final fix ended up being. I was not happy with the way this JB Weld was coming. And essentially only having it right here on the tips, the edge where it touches. And as you can see, I made a bit of a mess with it. But, you know, I was thinking, like, what can I do? Like, there has to be a way to fix this, like, for good, not just temporarily. And I had an idea. And I think it's going to work, so long as I have this thing clocked right in there. Ran back to Home Depot, got some drill bits, got a nail, like a, I don't know, a drywall nail or something. And I just drilled a hole straight through. Little tiny hole all the way through the metal rod, through the other side of the gear. I cut a nail to about this long, caked it in super glue, and just hammered it in there. So it's essentially acting like a grub screw, and in theory should make this, like, the next point of failure is going to be if these teeth themselves fail. It's not going to be the gear spinning on the shaft ever again. So I'm about to put everything back together, and I will update you guys if this ended up fixing it. Test it. Let's see if we're back in business. The alignment looks decent. I'll probably have to tweak it. It looks like this side needs to come a little lower, but the other side looks good. Test it out. Oh, yes, sir. Yes. Oh, that looks like a fix to me. Let's see it go down. Oh, money. Yeah, we're in there. All right, cool. Well, this video definitely changed direction from where it was initially going to head. Thought I was going to end up installing this piece that I spent so much time getting printed. I had to buy like an enclosure for my printer. It took me like 6 or 7 tries to get the settings right for it to actually print. But yeah, I feel way more comfortable in this solution because at the end of the day, what's going to stop this from stripping out too on those little splines and having the same issue? The solution I just did is permanent. Should never come undone. And yeah, we're going to keep rocking. See how long it lasts. And if you have any questions or anything about anything you saw in this video, just leave a comment. You know, I'm pretty responsive on here. And good luck, fellow C7, A7, S7, RS7 owners, or C7.5. I hope you're able to get your wing fixed like I was. Good luck and have a good one.